So you brought home a beagle, huh? Cute floppy ears, big brown eyes, and a tail that never stops wagging. What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything. Beagles aren't just cute. They're also super clever, super energetic, and sometimes super annoying. I've got one at home named Groot, and let me tell ya, he's given me a proper crash course in how to not let a dog outsmart you. This guide is for everyone who feels like their beagle is winning at life, while you're just trying to keep up. Beagles don't listen like other dogs. Most dogs, when you call them, come running. Beagles, well, they think about it and then decide if they want to listen. Why? Because they're independent thinkers. Their nose is their boss. If they catch a scent while you're calling their name, they'll act like they've suddenly gone deaf. That doesn't mean they're disobedient, it just means your voice isn't exciting enough. This also makes them one of the most difficult breeds to teach a recall command. To beat this, you have to become more interesting than whatever they're sniffing. That could mean using high-value treats, like cheese or chicken, or playing games they love, or even using a toy with a squeaker. Basically, give them a reason to come to you that's better than what they're already doing. When I'm outside with Groot and he starts ignoring me, I don't shout. I kneel down, call his name once, and make a rustling sound with a treat packet. Works like magic. He comes running like I just opened a treasure chest. Remember that routine equals to a more behaved beagle. Here's one thing I've learned the hard way. Beagles act out when things are random. If I wake up late and delay Groot's morning walk, he goes nuts, starts pacing, barking at birds, pulling the bedsheet, all just to say, "Bro, it's walk time." Beagles do really well with a fixed schedule. I walk Groot at the same time every morning and evening. He gets meals at the same time. Even his play and nap times are kind of fixed. Once I made this routine, he became way more chill. Less chewing, less barking, less zooming around the house like a lunatic. If your beagle is acting wild, start by fixing their daily routine. Trust me, it changes everything. Turn their nose into a training tool. A beagle's nose is powerful, like crazy powerful. That's why they pull on walks, sniff everything on the ground, and sometimes even ignore you completely. They're just following a scent trail. Instead of fighting this, use it to your advantage. One thing that works for me is scent-based training. I hide treats around the house and tell Groot to find it. It turns into a fun game, and he gets so tired afterward because his brain has been working nonstop. I even use this when I need to keep him busy and quiet for a while. Another trick, I always let him sniff a treat before we do any training. It puts him in focus mode instantly. His nose is activated, and now he's ready to listen. Shouting doesn't work. Outsmart them quietly. If your beagle is barking nonstop or doing something naughty, your first instinct might be to shout. But here's the thing, beagles are loud. And when you shout, they think you're joining the fun. Groot once barked at the door nonstop. I shouted and he barked louder, like we were having a barking competition. I quickly realized that staying calm works better. Instead, I distract him. If he's barking at the door, I toss a toy in the opposite direction and say, "Go get it!" He shifts his attention and breaks the cycle. You're not punishing, you're just redirecting in a smart way. Give them a job or they'll find one. Beagles were bred to hunt. That means they're used to being busy, using their nose, solving problems, and tracking things. If you leave them bored, they'll create their own entertainment, which usually means tearing up your socks or barking at random shadows. That's why I give Groot many jobs around the house. One of his favorite games is Find the Toy. I hide his favorite squeaky toy somewhere, and he has to go sniff it out. Sometimes I even make him wait and stay in one room while I go hide it somewhere else. It's a full-on mission for him. You can also teach them basic commands like bring the ball, wait, touch, and spin. These are fun, keep their brain sharp, and stop them from becoming destructive. Mental tiredness is better than physical tiredness. People think long walks are enough to tire out a beagle, but the real trick is mental stimulation. A 20-minute brain game tires out Groot way more than a 1-hour walk. So I mix it up. We do short walks and then brain games, puzzle toys, treat dispensing balls, obedience training, and scent games are my go-to tools. Even feeding him in a slow feeder or snuffle mat makes a huge difference. If your Beagle is bouncing off the walls even after a long walk, it's probably because they're bored in the head, not in the legs. Look, Beagles can be frustrating. I've had my days where I'm like, why did I even get this dog? And then Groot does something adorable, like resting his head on my lap. And all is forgiven. Beagles are not like labs or golden retrievers. They need different strategies, more patience, more creativity. But once you crack the code, you'll see just how smart, loving, and loyal they really are. You're not just raising a pet, you're raising a tiny mastermind. If you've got a Beagle at home, tell me in the comments what crazy thing they've done to outsmart you. And if you find this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. More Beagle survival tips coming soon.